Hi all. Okay, just about to move on to the 22nd of December, but I suppose we should clear this issue up here. I moved this unit to here. It was here we were trying to carry out the move action. It's up there. There we go. And if initially I was wondering about the fact that it couldn't move to the nearest German unit, would it then move on to the next command on the card, the next instruction, or would it look to the next nearest German unit? And I decided to go with that, but it doesn't really say that. Obviously, I was talking about having the word qualify in there, which it's got on a few cards. So I mean, if it said the nearest German unit that qualified, then you could sort of say, okay, I can't move here because I wouldn't be preserving the line, but I can move here and still preserve the line. I suppose that could come into it. But it doesn't say that. And I asked Martin a question. He said he would move it in the forward direction, which is in the next available sort of instruction, the last instruction of on the card. And then I was wondering about, do you need to move it its full movement allowance? And I think that's cropped up in one of the games I had in the past, and pretty sure it's came up before. And I think I did get this rule, but I looked through the forums again, couldn't quite find any. So I asked Martin again a follow-up question of, if you can. What was it I said actually? I said, does the move in the forward direction part of the action allow movement up to as far as the line can be preserved, or does it need to spend all its movement points and then check if the line is still preserved? And he came back saying the latter. You've got to use up all the movement points. Then you would see, as it breaking the rules, preserve the line, avoid surround, protect VP hex, and protect VP hex isn't really a concern because you're moving out of the hex to start with. You couldn't just sort of say like, well, I'll move that to 1, right? I'm still preserving the line. I'll move that in the forward direction. I'm still preserving the line. You need to actually use up its full 6 movement points and then have a look to see if it's still preserving the line. So that's that. So I don't think it's probably going to move, to be honest. Yeah, because its full 6 movement points would bring it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 into here. And a gap would be opening up, so doesn't even need to go that far. I mean, we cancelled the fact that it couldn't go and take this German town because it would be opening up in a gap as well. So it seems like that unit would just have stayed put there. So I think that's right. And like Martin comments, you've got to be able to do the full action on the card, and you don't consider these when you're looking at like proximate. So nearest proximate German unit. So that's the nearest proximate German unit, but I wouldn't suddenly cancel that out because preserve the line. I would still be looking at that. That's still the nearest proximate German unit. So that's why he says that looking at this unit's not part of the instruction. Okay, right. I think we'll just leave it at that. Hopefully we've got all that right. So that unit would have stayed there. So let's get moved on to the 22nd. Okay, there's one new rule that comes along the 22nd, which is I'll get the rule up. That's why. Yeah, it's under 8.2. No command exception. Starts on the 22nd. Beginning December 22nd. If the first command card drawn in the Allied Impulse is a no command card, complete its function if possible, then draw one other command card. So anytime they go and draw a no command, assuming it's the first card that they draw in the Impulse, they get another card. So yeah, it's starting to get tougher on us. Okay, so that's the only thing. Supplemental cards still 8, ally command levels 2. The victory conditions, you need less than 15 this time you lose, you need greater than 50 to win, so it gets harder. Yeah, that's that. So reserve phase, so I'll get the reserve units down for the 22nd, and the good thing was Patton went on the move and then put these guys in the reserve units box the day before they should be out, and we never actually brought them out, so we got lucky there. But let's get the units down in the reserve units box anyway. So there we go, nothing for us at all. Great. There's one infantry unit, 9th Division, 5th Corps, 3 infantry units from the 12th Corps, 80th Division, and then we get the big stack of British Corps units, 30 Corps units. They've got a slightly different way of deploying, whatever, but once we get around to that, we'll see what's what. So yeah, we've also got, this is the 22nd, so we will get to deploy this guy for free. So let's have a wee look and see where he's going to go. Okay, I think I'm going to put this guy in here. Can we see that? I think zoomed in a bit, oh no. In here, yeah. So he's in his core deployment, and that line, between that line and way up there, it's quite a good, still needs to be deployed within the boundary, so that's fine. He's on a supply road, so that is traceable. I'm just having a look just to make sure, yeah, because we're not going into the supply phase yet. He's 3 away from an allied unit or an allied town, 1, 2, 3 away from this guy, and he's also within 3 of a unit in the same division. I was hunting about thinking, should there not be 3 of these guys maybe, but I can only find the one on the board. We've not got one eliminated, and the only other units coming in later on are from a different division, so unless I'm missing something, there must only be 2 of the units. Anyway, well, he's within 3 of that guy anyway, so we'll put him there. That's not, no, he's not got a division. Okay, so that's that. And the last part of the reserve phase is to release the German OKW units. If you have a German unit adjacent to the Meuse or across the Meuse, and we're actually 1 hex away from it there, but you do need to trace supply as well, which, because of this bridge, wouldn't have allowed us to do it. But we made a mess of things up there anyway, so let's just forget about it. Get on with that. So the card prep phase, there was no change with the Germans didn't get any new cards, so I've shuffled everything up. The Allies get all the British, they got a lot of cards, don't they? 2 primary and 7 supplemental. Dear me, 1, 2, 3. That must be a misprint, surely. 2 primary and 7. Yeah, it's not. They've got. In fact, I can only see 1 primary. What am I missing here? I'm looking at the reinforcement card schedule on the actual board. Give me a sec. No, yeah, it is. Sure, you guys probably realised it. Because Patton went on the move, 3 of the cards came in sooner, didn't they? So 1 would have been a primary, or 2. Yeah, so. Yeah. That's what it is. That's what I was kind of confused about there. So yeah, they get this as a primary, and there's three supplementals for the British Corps units. Unit for the 12th Corps, because the 80th, it's the 80th Division, Infantry Division that have just been put in the reserve unit spot. And the 3rd Army card, which, right, it's Patton's card though. Yeah, no, it must be, that obviously didn't get put in. It was just the division cards, wasn't it? Sorry, it was just the Corps cards and division cards. I'm looking for Pan on the move again. Move the 3 Corps units. Add the 3 cards for 3 Corps. Yeah, it doesn't talk about the Pan card. So I actually thought this was in the deck. I think I was talking about the possibility of drawing this, but there you go. So it's in the deck now though. So well, I'll get everything shuffled up, and two more cards get added to the action deck. So the offensive cards, there's only 2 more left. They'll go in on the 23rd. So we'll get everything shuffled up and get ready. Okay, just drew my hand there, because the start of the supply phase would be the Allied air introduction if I happen to draw it. So there we go. Also, no bridge engineer events possible. The 2 division fuel cards we drew, we got lucky. This is 21st, 24th and 26th. And these ones are, none of them are showing the 22nd, so, but remember, every time you draw another card, it can put some units out of fuel. Just notice there's the 560th division for 58 Corps, and there is only 2 units. It's got a 1/2, but you start with 1 and then that second one just comes in. That's what it's showing it. So there must only be just the 2. Okay, so there we go. So now we're going into the supply phase and doing the Allied air introduction. So we're going to draw a command card, and if it's an army or army group card or an air power card, then it's bad news. Okay, so let's have a look. Oh jeez. Okay, I don't know, maybe that could be classed as not awful, really, could it? Because that would deploy all Allied reserves if we had drawn it for its impulse. So yeah, I think we should think ourselves lucky there, really, shouldn't we? So I have to discard the card from my hand with the highest command value. Your choice, it's my choice of more than 1, and then I have to skip my first impulse. Yeah, I think, yeah, the army group card, that's maybe not awful. So I've got to get rid of this or this. They're the 2 with 3, so let me have a wee think. I think I'm going to discard this. I know the first SS are pretty much a bit of a complete mess. I'm not sure if there's any units got more than 1 step. But there's still only that 1 infantry unit in Verviers. So there's a temptation to go along and have a bash at it. And if not, if I decide that's not a good idea, or if it gets reinforced, Verviers, then I could replace 2 points, you know, which might not be a bad idea as well. So it's got assault coordination on this as well, but hey ho, got to get rid of 1. So I'll discard this, and then I'll also skip my first impulse. So we're not going to start with a German impulse today. We're going to start with the Allied impulse. That's how it goes. So next would be play a bridge engineer event. Well, I said I didn't have any. So then we move on to determine supply. So there's definitely 2 or 3, I think, out of supply, unable to trace supply anyway. So we'll have a look. So we'll have a look at the Germans first. Yeah, there's still not any trouble in the north. Everything's fine up here. And this bridge is broken, but there's a road round the side as well, so it doesn't really affect it. And all they can trace supply, you can trace back into the right. Why is there not a bridge marker here? Surely. Hang on. Well, I don't know if maybe I've not actually crossed that bridge or activated the units. I'm going to have to go back and have a look at previous videos because it's not so relevant. I mean, there's a bridge there and there's a bridge there. But this bridge here, I kind of need that. Or these two stacks are out of supply. They can't trace supply, sorry. Because they can't trace into here or here. You can trace into there, yeah, for one. Well, actually, these units would be alright because they can trace across there, so they're okay right enough. But it's these guys, because they can trace into there. But if that bridge is, well, actually, no, they can't if it's Allied controlled still. I'm going to see if I can find when the units moved there. I mean, it is possible if I brought them in from there. Or no, I think they might have came in from here. But did they not activate again and they would have claimed that bridge? Right, I'm off to have a look. Yeah, no, unfortunately, we've not actually activated any unit adjacent to this bridge or crossed it. I mean, it's not, this hex isn't an Allied supply, but that's not part of the deal, like. Yeah, unfortunately not. We got the units all dispersed. We had activated this second SS core initially and they came down and went into there. But that was an advance after combat. Nothing crossed the bridge, and then we brought these units down from there to attack the unit in here, I think, wasn't it? And then they dispersed, and we never activated them again. So that's not so good then, because I didn't see that one. So it does mean, like I say, these guys can trace or can't. No, they can't, can they? Because they're going over. I mean, it's still classed as an Allied bridge. Yeah, there's no road there. Yeah, because I talked about this in previously, just recently, about the fact that you can trace over an Allied bridge, but you could trace from, an unbridged hex side. So, as I'm, if the guys had been here, he'd be able to trace across and get supply. But because they're going across the Allied bridge, so they can't. Something seems a little bit odd about that bit, but where did I put that supply marker? Oh, it's there. Okay, so, well, that turns it into both these stacks being in low supply then. So that's even worse. I mean, low supply is it's not the worst, but I think the fact you can't play combat tactics, and I mean, if you get somebody else in the fight too, they can still play the combat tactics for you, but the main one is if looks like these guys, if they were involved in a fight, they might just be on their own, so. And then you can't also say, right, I'll reinforce battle, bring somebody else in because you can't play a combat tactic for them. Yeah, anyway. Okay, well, yeah, I think that's right. I think they're in low supply. This one's okay. This guy's okay, yeah. So let's look down the middle here. Yeah, so this guy can't get supply because this bridge is out. And 1, 2, 3, 4. He can't quite reach this road. This is a road that if we could get to, but because that bridge is out. I mean, he can go up this way through this town, but he can't get past here. And then coming back down here brings him the same issue of this bridge. So that's not. These guys are fine. They can come across the bridge, the unbridged river. And these guys can all reach this road. So can these. So, yeah, everything else is okay. It's just that one, which we knew that was going to happen. So no issues in the middle there. This guy's fine. So just the bottom right hand corner, so let's have a look down here. Okay, so this guy's okay. You can go in here and then up and round. This bridge here's fine. And so there's this guy. Maybe zoom out a little bit. There we go. He's okay. So we knew we were going to have issues here, didn't we? Because we thought we had worked it all out, planned it properly, and then, well, not only did these guys retreat to spoil our plan, this guy had already moved up to spoil it beforehand. I never even realised that. So I don't think. See, because we don't control any of these towns here, so or the bridge for that matter. So there's no way all the roads end up going through allied towns, so we can't go and trace around that way. There's no allied units in this area, but so if we could get up here, it'd be fine. But that's not the case. So. No, wait, these ones are okay, aren't they? Why did I think there was an issue with these guys? Because the infantry unit, the allied units were there, so initially I couldn't have traced across there, but now I can because they moved, so there was that. So he can trace over into there and then away, he's good. This guy here can't though, because he can't get up through here, and there's no way out down there as well, so he's in low supply, and which also means he's in low supply as well, yeah. And the 80 core units, I think, are okay, aren't they? Because we've got that bridge. That's the other thing. If maybe one of these bridges had been, I suppose we've got this allied unit though. Anyway, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, he can trace through his own. Oh, he can trace around there. He can trace. Yeah, that's it. That's fine. So that's all the German units. So it's a bit, not so good. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stacks of units that were unable to trace supply there. Right, let's look at the allies then. I can't see any issues at all with allied units in the northern part. In fact, I think there's only the one I can see that's going to have issues in the whole board. Yeah, none of these. There's no problems to the north for them there, or they've still got this line they can all trace supply. Yeah, no issues that I can see. There's this. Oh, sorry. There's this 10th armoured unit down here, but he's on the edge of the map. So just along here, these three are fine. It's just this guy. I think. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be able to trace supply. Yeah, he can't quite. He can reach a road, but he can't get out on the road. He can't get out of this area here. There's no way of getting through for supply. So we get that guy at least. Well, the 2 units. That's it. So they came out worse off there, really. But yeah, I'm disappointed by the second SS ones, but I've never seen that at all. And then, of course, the carry on that happened here. Well, yeah, that's what it is. Okay, and then the last part of the supply was road blocks, I think, isn't it? Well, we've got that out of fuel to check, but I told you I had no cards with out of fuel on them, so for this date, so that was that. And there's no roadblock markers on the board, so that's that. So I'd like to say it's onto a German impulse, but because of the Allied air prediction, it's not. So it's going to be an Allied impulse first. But at least we don't have the 21st Army Group card to worry about, I suppose. So let's see what they get. I might cut things here. Yeah, I might cut things here before I draw this. We'll see. Okay, cheers. Hi all. Okay, got some good news today regarding the game. Just had a message from Martin. Must have been on his Butterfield hotline again. He must have been asking John Butterfield some questions, I guess. Maybe because maybe I've harped on that much about the bridge situation, the control of the bridge. I mean, I don't know, way back he had asked the question too, and it's just never been clarified. Repairing a broken bridge, what happens to it? Whose control is it under? Well, John has come back and said repairing a bridge should give the repairing side control of the bridge. I will clarify on BGG and in the addenda. So there we go. That one's been a long time coming, to be honest, which is a shame really, but it's maybe never been a big concern, but I'm sure it does affect things. I'm sure it's affected this game as well, but so that's good to know at last. Makes sense, I think. I don't know if there's any board position at the moment where I could say, oh, haha, that's my bridge now. So I'm not sure. Maybe if I come across the individual areas, I might see one. Don't think so though. Okay, he also got some clarification regarding gaps, but it's maybe just me. Trying to understand gaps is hard enough. I mean, I thought he was quite clear on how it worked, so I'm not sure what questions he's been asking John regarding this, or he's wrote a reply to me, like I say, about what John has said. I'm kind of struggling to understand how it's all mean. I'll read the bit that he's read out regarding gaps. Finally, though, I'm assuming this has come from John Butterfield. Finally, regarding finally, those bothersome gaps. I determined the gap pattern by tracing a path through allied units from north to south that contains the fewest number of hexes lacking allied units or zone of controls. So that's a bit, I think that's what John says, and Martin explains something after it, but I'm not quite following it. I think I maybe need to be told in a different way or given some examples of what he's meaning by that. So I've asked him to try and clarify that, but he seems keen on it because it looks like it's going to make things a bit easier when it comes to gaps. So I'm excited about that. I'm happy at that. I just don't quite can't quite grasp what the meaning is at the moment. There's maybe not enough written down for me to take it in, but hopefully he'll come back to me and maybe explain it more in along my terms, nice and easy, and we can that'd be great if it's going to be easier for me to understand gaps. I just can't quite grasp what's been said at the moment. So anyway, that's good news. Couple of good things getting sorted out. So back to the action. I left it off yesterday. I didn't get the chance to get back. So it was it would be our impulse, but we got their introduction, didn't we? So it's an allied impulse to start. That's right, and we lost a card. Okay, so might as well fire away and we'll get an allied impulse in just now anyway. Hopefully it doesn't involve me moving some gaps, or I might need to pause and try and understand what's going on here, but here we go. Alright, it's the British Corps. Okay. Well, that could be interesting. Right. So it's one of the division cards for it. So it's basically the first action is deploy 43rd and 51 Division Reserves, of which there's 3 of each. They're both infantry divisions, according to the card anyway. So I'll need to have a wee look at C, because there is slight, I think when they first come on the board there's a slight difference, and there could be differences to where they actually get placed. I'll go and have a look. Okay, so there's 2 deployment methods. Actually, no, there's actually 3, isn't there? Yeah, you've got basic deployment, and that's when there's no XXX core units on the map, and no German units are proximate to hex west of the Meuse. Well, we've not got any 30 core units on the map, but we do have, can we see there? Yeah. This unit is 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's proximate to hex west of the Meuse, unfortunately. So the basic deployment's not going to happen. That just means if we've not got anybody threatening the Meuse, they come out and deploy. There's certain hexes that they deploy further up north there, I think it is. They've all got places where they go. So, but because we are proximate to hex west of the Meuse, we go to the next part. The third part, the third version, deployment method is as if you've already got a core unit on the map, so you go to that. But we're going to be on the second one, so it's 9.62. Deployment under German threat. If a command card calls for the deployment of 30 core units when no 30 core units are on the map, but one or more German units are proximate to hex west of the Meuse River, so that is the case, place the first 30 core reserve unit in an empty position hex in ally supply, meeting all the following criteria instead of using the normal deployment process. So then it wants the position is west of the Meuse River. Hang on, that's a German unit is proximate to the position. Is that? I've got an ER scrolled at the side there as if there's a rata for that. Hang on a sec. Yeah, there is indeed a rata to that. Let's see, in the rulebook it just says a German unit is proximate to the position, but it's been errated to say a German unit is proximate to or within 3 hexes of the position. And then the third condition is the position is not a German town or city. Then if more than one position qualifies, placed in the position with the highest hold value, then a position closest to a German unit, then northernmost. Oh, there's that northernmost. That's the one I was talking about. That's the only one I could find, but I feel like I'd read it somewhere else. But so I'm assuming the first unit will go there, and then we'll move on to 9.63 because there'll then be a unit in play. So I think that's right. I'll have a look and see where this first one's going to go then. Yeah, I'm not sure we need to really look, do we? It's going to be in GV, isn't it? Positions west of the Meuse. A German unit is proximate to, or what was that around again? It's proximate to or within 3 hexes of the position. And then position's not a German town or city. And then if there's more than one, we're looking for highest hold value. So yeah, I mean, even if you're looking, even if we, sorry, I'll come away from there a little bit, have a look up. Even if you're looking at 3 hexes from this German unit, there's nothing, it can't get right up, and this is going to be the highest hold value. So it's not within 3 hexes, but it's proximate to a German unit. And that's going to be the high. And it makes sense. I mean, the first chance I was going to get, which, to be honest, might have been, yeah, it might have been this impulse, because I've not got the core activation, but I've got that division activation card in my hand, and I might well have been going for that and having a go for GV. So that makes that allied interdiction now, taking away my first impulse. Yeah, even worse now, really. And okay, I guess again we got rid of the 21st Army Group card, but okay, I'm pretty sure that's where the first unit's going to go then. That's not quite as bad as I thought. These are the 43rd Infantry Division. The 51st Infantry Division are not part of the reserve units there. They don't come in until the 25th, I think it is. So okay, yeah, I feel pretty sure that guy's going to go into GV. Now, the next part, like I said, we put that first unit in. So I'm pretty sure we then go from there. Now that there's a unit in play, we then look at 9.63, so which is ongoing unit deployment. If deploying a reserve unit from the British 30 Corps, when at least one 30 Corps unit is already on the map, use the normal deployment processes depending on the date, which is a 9.2, treating the unit as part of the US First Army with the following adjustments. 30 Corps units must be deployed west of the Meuse River, and 30 Corps units are not restricted by Corps boundaries. So they can be deployed anywhere. They're treated as First Army, but we're going to try and deploy them as Method A. So yeah, I think that's right. So we'll have a look. I kind of thought they would all just come in together, but they might still do that, because depending on if they can't come in with Method A, though Method B would just put them all together. I'll look though. Yeah, no, there is a few other options for them, because this unit it's proximate to quite a few hexes west of the Meuse. I marked all of these, but this one wouldn't count. It's adjacent to an allied unit. So, but the other 3, and they're all within 3 of the same division as well. So all 3 of them are options, and it looks like, to be honest, yeah, it looks like one's going to go there and one's going to go there, and again it all makes sense. It just blocks off. Yeah, that's been a really bad miss of the first impulse. Yeah, that wasn't a good break at all, was it? That was just a bad card to have drawn. You know, and at least if we'd had the first impulse, we could have had a go at one of these. That's quite. We probably would have went for that one, but you know, they've got the bridge, the roadblocks to avoid. So yeah. Okay, so all them are applicable. These are 4s though. This one's a 2, so it's not going to be that one. And then they're all within 3 of the same division. So highest hold value and then westernmost. So this one's a bit more western. So that's where unit 13 goes. And then, sorry, selector number 13, unit 130 is. And then, yeah, I'm still proximate to that other hex. It's west of the Meuse. Yeah. It's a happening. Bummer. Yeah, okay. Not good. That's Allied Impulse over then, so I'll have a think about my hand doesn't look great at all. It suddenly looks worse now as well, so we'll plod on though. Yeah, it's been moping again. It's been a terrible start, isn't it? It's a shame, and I'm actually gonna do this, and right, never mind. Let's get on that. Okay, I'm going to activate the 116th Panzer Division. So we've got 3 of them. This guy that's in low supply. This guy that was going to make a dash for Givet, and this guy here. So I think I'm still going to try and get to Givet, and not this time, but maybe support with the 47th. We can try and make an attack on it, because you've got this. These guys are up here, do you know? I feel like this is probably still the bit we want to try and get west of. I mean, away up top, if the first SS weren't so battered and bruised, they're miles away though, really. I mean, I suppose a chance, but I mean, there's lots of units still to come in for the Allies, so right, okay, let's move. I'm going to move this guy 1, 2, and I'm going to move on 3 into the woods hex there for 5. I'm just going to break this guy away, and alright, just double check low supply. I'm pretty sure it's just you can still move fine. May not exit the map, may not receive replacements, and no combat tactic can be played for. So there's no issues with his movement, well, apart from exiting the map, but we're not doing that. So yeah, I did think just skipping him across the river, but then I can't really get into that hex, so I think it's better going 1, 2, breaking zone of control, 3, 4, and 5 into there, and then at least I can, you know, come along and help. Yeah, and then this guy. I'm just going to bring him on as well. That's. Oh, hang on, there's no road to that, is there? Is there? No, the road goes up into there. Ooh, I hope I've not made a mistake with that before. No, I don't think I did. Yeah. Oh no, there is. What am I talking about? There is. There's a road in the hex, it goes into that hex, and it goes into that hex, yeah. I'm talking nonsense. Right, where are we? That's this guy. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you can't quite reach, but yeah, just put him in the forest there, gets a extra situational strength for there, I think. Yeah, not the most exciting, but the good thing is it's only one command point that, so it will let us do something else. So we'll see what we're going to do next. I'm feeling a bit deflated after all this. Things are starting to go kind of horrible for me, so I would like to have had a certain card in my hand before I'd done this, but there's only one thing for it. Yeah. They're going again. None of this replacing points. None of that nonsense. Verve, our third attempt. But at least we'll know we're doing it right this time. Hopefully. Because we're gonna... Oh no, hold on. Oh no, he did, he reinforced it. Oh no. I forgot about that. I thought it was only the one unit. Back to the drawing board, I think. Okay. Starting to lose the will a little bit. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I'm just going to play this to replace a couple of points in. Now, this is a stack of elite units. I can't replace elite units until they're the only ones left to replace, so I had a look. I'm going to do this infantry unit. There's an armour unit there that could go for a 3 to a 4, but these are up the front, so, and my thinking it, so I'll replace this guy as well because he goes for a 3 to a 5. This one only goes for a 3 to a 4, so I think doing the infantry, yeah, because I think what I was thinking was maybe I've got an assault coronation in my hand, because if I was to attack with that on the 12 strength, I can't even get 2 to 1 with what I've got. I was hoping to have had a reinforced battle and reinforced with these 9 strength guys. Then we could have got, which I thought I was going to get 4 to 1, but I didn't have the card, and then also it's not 3 strength in there, it's 6, which doubles to 12. So, but I could still, if I get the card to activate them, bring them up, use assault coronation, and like I say, I think I'm still only getting 2 to 1 odds, but yeah, okay, so I replaced 2 points in there, and the only real restriction is they need to be in supply and able to trace supply, so that's a slight difference. They need to be able to trace supply at that moment to get the replacement. I suppose it makes sense, doesn't it? But it's fine. It can be adjacent to an enemy unit as long as it can trace supply, which it can. So yeah, we'll go with that, I suppose. So I've got 3 cards in my hand, so I'm going to get 3 new cards. So I'll show you them, and then we can have another Allied Impulse. Oh goody. Yeah, sorry, one last thing as well. They don't become active. It's not activating the core, so that's all a good thing. Just replacement points. So I mean, I could potentially replace them, and then if I had the supplemental card, activate them next turn if I want. I always get a shot first though. Okay, there's the 3 cards I had. These are the 3 new cards I've just drawn. So I've got the 5th Panzer Army card, which is quite cool, I suppose. Unfortunately, this no fuel for the first of the first SS Panzer Division is the 22nd, so I'm just gonna wonder. I've still got the 1 fuel marker, so just swithering about if I want to use it or not. I'm gonna have a look, and I think yeah, I think I'm gonna have to use the marker. First SS is adjacent to. Hang on. It's adjacent to Verviers up there. If I'm going to have at least a try at it, I'm going to need them, and that puts them out of the game for the whole day. So yeah, it means that's me going to be out, and what I'm worried about is drawing one of the Wehr or the second Panzer division card that'll knock them out of fuel. I don't know all the dates on the card. I can't say I've memorised all the dates to work out what's the best plan with that. It's kind of gaming things a little bit, isn't it? So yeah, I think I'll use it. I was trying to find out where the other sorry, I'll just move up there a bit. See if I can get another fuel marker, because I think there's 2 no's and 3 yeses. I think. Yeah, we've used 2 yeses, so the chances of being able. There's one here, but getting to that's going to be tough. The other one is in here. That's going to be tough as well, to be honest. Okay, I'm going to use it. I'm going to use my last fuel marker and keep the guys fueled up, and obviously I get to keep the card in my hand as well. It is a reinforced battle, so yeah. Okay, we'll move on to an Allied Impulse. Right, let's get the next Allied Impulse. Oh dear. I don't think things are going very well at all. I suppose the game does get harder as things move on, but if you recall, the new rule this day was that if we drew no command as the first card, I think we used that and then draw another card. Yeah. Well, I think if I get through to the end of this day, still playing the game and not have thrown the towel in, I'd be kind of surprised. There's not a lot going right at the minute. Okay, yeah, so we've got to activate this card, and then we're going to have to draw another allied card because of that new rule. Not only that, we're going to use the event Air Power. So, well, we've seen this before. Air supply is not going to do anything because we've no out of supply or isolated markers to remove from allied units. So we go into Straffing runs again. I have to discard the card with the highest command value in my hand. So I have to discard this. And then I get the Air Power card in my hand. So this, not only have I had to discard arguably the second best card in my deck, I've also got a no command, an Air Power card in my hand to clog my hand up as well. Great. Okay, and they get to draw another card. Here we go. 7 core. I was just thinking, is that another core that we've? But it's no. It was third core. I thought I would just finish things off. Okay, 7 core. So there's no 7 core reserves in the reserve units box anyway. Next command is expedite core reserves, and there is some 7 core reserves in the 23rd box. But I suppose we'd still need to have a look for out of contact to see if any units might redeploy. So have a look at that first. Okay, all the 7 core units up here are all either adjacent, they're not out of contact. This one can still proximate, German units proximate to it. So none of them are, and these two are not out of contact, but this one is. There's no German unit proximate to him. So he is out of contact. Well, of course, the last part is its removal would not create a gap, so we do need to consider that. It doesn't care about victory point hexes. It's just about not creating a gap. Not creating a gap in the line. In fact, it doesn't even say extend a gap. It just says, as in Allied communication, no German unit proximate, and its removal would not create a gap in the line. So even if it makes a gap bigger, that's not actually what it's saying, so that's quite interesting. Okay, yeah, I was just having a look and I thought this guy was actually going to, because he's out of contact, I thought he was going to redeploy to here. That's only hex, this is the boundary, it's north of that, and then you deploy that. That's only hex German units approximate to that you could go to, so I actually thought it was going to go there at first, but the hex is surroundable. We might have looked at this before, right enough. This unit can come 1, 2, 3, and this mechanised can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and surround it. So I think maybe I would have preferred them to have moved there as well. It's maybe not that big a deal to me really. So so he was the only out of contact unit that could maybe redeploy. So I think we then move on to the next command. Yeah, so like I say, next command's Expedite Corps Reserves, and there's unfortunately three armoured units. Second Armour of the 7th Corps were in the next day's box, the 23rd. So all that happens is these go into the reserve units box now, so if we happen to draw to deploy again the 7 Corps today, we do have some units to deploy. I'm just noticing the division card for it. It's not in the deck yet because it doesn't come in until the 23rd. Obviously, that's when the units are meant to come in. So we wouldn't be able to deploy them from that. But you know, the supplemental card of the 7 Corps could deploy them, or the 1st Army card. So anyway, yeah. So that's Allied Impulse over. Let's look at what we can do. Oh, this is tough. I'm not a quitter in any game. I'm just wondering if I feel like I'm not really going to get much further in this game now. I think I've had my chance, and I don't think I've been as far. I mean, yeah, maybe I have been to the 22nd before. I just feel like there's a lot worse to come, and I'm going to have to go in the defensive in so many places. I can't see easy victory points lying about that I could maybe get. Plus the end of this day, I would need to get 51. I would have to get 51, and I'm still sitting on 31. I don't think that's moved for a long time. So 20 victory points before the end of the day, and the Allies have just stomped me right at the start of the day, really. Here was us thinking they drew this first, and I was thinking, well, that seems pretty good, really, for the 21st Army group card, for them just to get an Allied air interdiction. So, what was it that done again? Yeah, it stopped my first impulse, didn't it? So I didn't get and I had to discard the card. Yeah, I had to discard a card, and then I discarded a 3-cost card, and then didn't get my first impulse, and then they come in with this as an impulse, putting some British units blocking all the hexes that I had a chance to get. Then I realised up here that this Verviers that had been reinforced. That was my bad for not remembering that, but I was kind of keen. Like, I thought, oh well, at least I've got a shot of that. And then when I realised that, I was like, oh. And then this latest one, I drawn a no command, losing the 5th Panzer Army card, which, okay, I couldn't have activated it this time. Well, I could have used it, but I want to benefit from the guys. Maybe have a camp group. I don't know how I would have done it, but I suppose I maybe could have done it. I maybe could have done it, and as long as I'm not activating them, and just activated the 47th, and maybe had a go, and then they play the play that for air power, do the strafing runs. I've got to discard the 5th Panzer Army card, and then we get to draw another card, and okay. Well, I say there's no great harm with that, but you want to have a look at the reserve units box. For the Allies, it's stacked up, really heavy. Just looking at my hand. They're just, I don't know, I think I've kind of been deflated a bit. So I'm kind of wondering if I should maybe just hit on the head. I didn't want to do that though. I just feel like there's no way I'm going to get a chance before the end of this day, and then things just get harder and harder. Yeah. And the Allies get stronger and stronger. I mean, that's how things went, and that's how the game's set up to play, which is great. Yeah, that's really clever the way it works. I think what you've got to do is try and win early. Getting to the Muse is even up the top, I can't see myself breaking through up the top, and I think I'll maybe put this video together and post it up and see how I feel about it. Maybe see if anybody thinks. Maybe somebody will tell me, yeah, just give up, Grant. Give up, start a new game or something else or whatever. I've enjoyed doing the recording though. I've enjoyed that. I'm probably ranting on a bit, blethering, and I've quite enjoyed it. Once you've done it once, I feel like it makes it easier so you can do it again. There's lots of other games I'd like to try and do. Yeah. I'll see. Maybe it's quite late at night now, so and I've had a long day at work, so that it could be that's making me feel that way. But I think I'll wrap this video up here, the minute, and maybe post this as the first part of what I've done. I've done a little bit already, haven't I? Yeah. Yeah, all that nonsense that we've just had that I just explained. So I'll maybe post that up and see how I feel, and see if anybody just suggests that, yeah, you're not gonna win this one. Okay guys, cheers.